Are you haunted by the thought of a loved one vanishing without a trace? This is the story of Kelsey Smith. June 2nd, 2007, started like any other day for 18-year-old Kelsey Smith. The sun was shining in Overland Park, Kansas. It was a Friday, and the weekend beckoned. Kelsey had plans to meet her boyfriend later that day. She was excited. Kelsey left her job at a Target store. Around 7 p.m., she headed to the parking lot, a sense of normalcy surrounding her. Little did she know, this ordinary day would be her last. Her life about to take a horrifying turn. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the parking lot, Kelsey's car remained untouched. Concern grew with each passing moment. Her family knew something was wrong. Kelsey would never just disappear. Her worried parents contacted the police. They reported their daughter missing. A knot of dread tightened in their stomachs. Where could Kelsey be? Hours turned into a night of agonizing worry for Kelsey's family. The unanswered phone calls and empty promises of her return fueled their fear. Then, the phone rang. The voice on the other end sent shivers down their spines. It was Kelsey, but something was wrong. Her voice was filled with panic and terror.
"Mom, help me! Please help me!"
The line went dead. Silence. The sound of their daughter's terrified voice echoed in their ears. A mixture of relief and terror washed over them. Kelsey was alive, but in grave danger. The clock was ticking. Every second counted. The police immediately traced the call. It came from a location miles away from where Kelsey was last seen. Hope and fear intertwined as investigators raced to the area. They scoured the vicinity, their hearts pounding with a mix of anticipation and dread. Every passing moment felt like an eternity. The weight of Kelsey's life hung heavy in the air. The search party expanded, volunteers joining the desperate hunt. Flyers with Kelsey's smiling face were posted everywhere, a community united by fear and determination. They refused to give up hope. They had to find her. Time was slipping away. The trail was growing colder with every passing hour. Days turned into nights as the search for Kelsey Smith continued. The once ordinary parking lot where she was last seen became a grim reminder of the mystery surrounding her disappearance. The yellow tape fluttered in the wind, a silent testament to the tragedy that had unfolded. Investigators worked tirelessly, following every lead, chasing every shred of evidence. They analyzed surveillance footage, hoping for a glimpse of Kelsey or her abductor. Every dead end deepened the mystery, amplifying the family's despair. The community rallied around the Smith family, offering support and prayers. Candlelight vigils were held, the soft glow of the flames reflecting the hope that refused to be extinguished. They clung to the belief that Kelsey was still out there, somewhere, but as time went on, the fear that had gripped the community began to morph into a chilling realization. Something terrible had happened to Kelsey. Amidst the growing despair, investigators caught a break. Surveillance footage from a nearby convenience store showed Kelsey's car pulling into the parking lot just minutes after she left work. But the driver was not Kelsey. The grainy images revealed a man behind the wheel. His face was obscured, but it was a vital clue. Police investigator. The footage also showed Kelsey in the passenger seat, her face etched with fear. She was alive. There was still hope. The images were released to the public, a collective gasp rippling through the community. Everyone scrutinized the man's features, his build, his every move. Someone had to recognize him, someone had to know something. The phone lines at the police station lit up with tips. Every call offered a glimmer of hope, a chance to bring Kelsey home. The haunting phone call from Kelsey played over and over in her mother's mind.
"Mom, help me! Please help me!" The desperation in her voice was unbearable. It was a mother's worst nightmare. I clung to those words, analyzing every inflection, every breath. There had to be a clue hidden within the terror.
The police worked with phonetics experts, trying to decipher any background noise, any indication of where Kelsey might be. The voice on the other end of the line had become a chilling enigma. It was a lifeline to Kelsey, but also a stark reminder of her unknown fate. The unanswered questions tormented them. Who was the man in the car? And why had he taken Kelsey? The investigation continued, fueled by the hope that they were just one piece away from solving the puzzle. The weight of her daughter's disappearance pressed down on Kelsey's mother with an almost unbearable heaviness. Every passing day chipped away at her hope, replacing it with a gnawing fear that she might never see her daughter alive again.
I replayed memories of Kelsey in my mind, clinging to them like lifelines. The sound of her laughter, her infectious smile, the way she would always know how to brighten someone's day. These memories, once a source of joy, now brought fresh waves of pain.
The guilt gnawed at her. She should have been there. She should have protected her. The what-ifs and if-onlys echoed through her mind, a cruel and relentless chorus, but she knew she couldn't give in to despair. She had to stay strong for Kelsey. She vowed to never stop searching, to never let her daughter's memory fade. She owed it to Kelsey to find out what happened that day, to bring her abductor to justice. The investigation into Kelsey Smith's disappearance took a dramatic turn when a tip led police to a Target store in Missouri. It was the same store where Kelsey had worked. Police investigator surveillance footage showed the man from the convenience store video inside the store just hours before Kelsey disappeared. This time, his face was clearly visible. The image was broadcast across the nation, and within hours, the man was identified as Edwin Roy Hall, a known sex offender with a history of violence. The net was closing in. Police investigator. A warrant was issued for Hall's arrest. Police tracked him down to a hotel room where he was apprehended without incident, but there was one crucial piece of the puzzle still missing: Kelsey. Hall refused to cooperate with the investigation, his silence amplifying the family's anguish. He held the key to their daughter's whereabouts, and his refusal to speak was a torturous silence. After days of relentless searching, the news everyone had been dreading finally came. Edwin Roy Hall, the man who had abducted Kelsey Smith, confessed to her murder and led investigators to a shallow grave near a park. Police investigator. The discovery shattered the Smith family, their worst fears realized. Kelsey's body was found just 6 days after she disappeared. The once vibrant young woman was gone, her life tragically cut short. The community mourned with the family, united in grief and disbelief. The parking lot, the phone call, the grainy surveillance footage, all converged in a heartbreaking realization of the cruel fate that had befallen Kelsey. Police investigator Edwin Roy Hall was charged with kidnapping, rape, and murder. He was later sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Justice had been served, but it couldn't erase the pain, the void that Kelsey's absence left behind. Even though Edwin Roy Hall was brought to justice, the haunting phone call from Kelsey Smith remains a chilling mystery. Investigators analyzed the audio, searching for clues, but they were never able to determine where or when the call was made. Police investigator. Some experts believe Kelsey may have made the call while trapped in the trunk of Hall's car, her muffled pleas for help going unanswered by those who could have saved her. Others speculate that Hall himself may have forced Kelsey to make the call. A final act of cruelty and a senseless crime. The truth died with Kelsey, leaving behind a haunting reminder of the random and brutal nature of her abduction and murder. The unanswered questions surrounding the phone call would forever torment her family and investigators.